This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. No major jitters despite new COVID strain. Health officials across the Southern Regional Health Authority are sharing the optimism of Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton and Dr. Brian James, President of the Medical Association of Jamaica, that the island is in good position to tackle any surge in infections arising from the discovery of the latest COVID-19 variant in the island. On Thursday, the Ministry of Health and Wellness announced that 89 samples collected between January 1 to March 4 were submitted for genome sequencing. The results showed 98.9% were Omicron variants and 1.1% the Delta variant. Of the Omicron samples, 2 of 88, or 2.3%, were BA2 variant, and the 97.7% the BA1 variant. In an interview on Thursday, Brian told the news that he was not surprised that the Omicron BA2 variant of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes COVID-19, was in Jamaica. This is something we expected because it is now becoming the dominant subvariant around the world, so there's no real reason why Jamaica would be left out. But what we are hoping is that it doesn't cause us the stress that the original Omicron variant did and cause the large number of admissions, the MAJ president said. James urged Jamaicans to remain vigilant despite the discontinuation of COVID-19 orders. What we have been saying from the MAJ's standpoint is that we are going to take away these mandates. We should remain vigilant, be flexible, and be able to adjust to whatever the local situation is, said James. He said the new variant could see a surge in the country's positivity rate and hospitalizations. The fact is, when the Omicron variant became the dominant variant in Jamaica, we ended up with a large number of persons admitted to hospital. We ended up with 577 patients by the middle of January, and therefore there is nothing to suggest that we're immune from having a surge on the hospitals. We just have to be vigilant and be ready to respond, he said. Pointing to continued vaccination drive as well as the 40-bed field hospital at the Maypen Hospital, Clarendon's medical officer of health, Kimberly Scarlett Campbell, said her team is prepared for any eventuality. There is nothing that we could experience with the Omicron that we have not been through, so because of that, I just believe there's nothing we cannot overcome. We have been through more, and that new variant is milder than the previous one. We're already been through the worst. I just believe it's something we should be able to manage, said Scarlett Campbell. She noted that the field hospital, which was recently closed as the number of COVID-19 hospitalizations decreased significantly, can be reactivated if needed. The health team in St. Elizabeth is also prepared, according to parish manager for the St. Elizabeth Health Services, Sean Brissett. He pointed out that there are adequate bed spaces in the parish. We are prepared. We've been dealing with the COVID-19 for the past 2 years, and we have our team in place, and we have always been functioning, Brissett told the news, although he added that plans are in place to transform other areas into COVID wards should the current designated spaces become overwhelmed. Michael Bent, regional director of the SRHA, said the Manchester Health team is monitoring the situation. We have always been on the alert for any possibilities. We would have started reusing some of the original COVID wards, and we have reserved some other beds. We just have to monitor it really, but we are still on alert, Bent told the news. Minister Tufton said that he is confident that the public health system can withstand any upsurge in positive cases that lead to hospitalization. I certainly believe that we can manage clinically if there were any upsurge. There are a lot of adjustments to how we are measuring the risk, he told the news. If it were to get worse, we believe we could cope. The experience of the last 3 surges makes us a lot more capable to deal with any future surge. Tufton, who was participating at a forum on risk communication at the Northern Caribbean University in Mandeville, Manchester on Thursday, said that at the time there were approximately 15 COVID-positive patients hospitalized and roughly 750 bed spaces across the island, complemented by stronger natural or aided immunity among the population. The health minister said that there continues to be improvement in the system, but acknowledged the dangers of complacency with the full impact of new strains still unknown. He again called for more Jamaicans to take COVID shots adding that the current vaccination take-up of 24 to 25% of the population was far from sufficient. The messaging around the vaccines has to continue. It has been a real challenge. We have vaccines, but people are not taking it, he said. 4 Jamaicans implicated in scheme that stole US $665,000 from American seniors. A federal grand jury in the United States indicted 4 Jamaicans on Thursday for their alleged role in an international telemarketing scheme which stole US $665,000 from American seniors. Those charged are 29-year-old Fabian Gray, alias Mike Taylor, Avia Reed, 29, Kalela Powell, 20, and Romaine Gordon, 29, all of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, mail fraud, and a conspiracy to commit money laundering, according to a statement from the United States Attorney's Office for the District of South Carolina. The indictment alleged that since June 2015, the 4 defendants knowingly, willfully, and intentionally conspired to defraud victims by use of telemarketing. Further reports are that the Jamaicans and their co-conspirators falsely informed more than 100 victims, most of them elderly, that they had won large awards of money. The scammers then convinced the victims that they had to pay fees in advance in order to receive their awards. The indictment further alleges that the defendants and their co-conspirators sent communications purported to be from a genuine sweepstakes company, financial institutions, and even federal agencies that discussed the purported cash awards designed to hide the true nature of the conspiracy and to convince the victims of the authenticity of the winnings and the fees, the statement shared. The accused then allegedly instructed how and whom the bogus fees and the taxes were to be sent. After receiving the victims' money through prepaid cards, money orders, cash, personal checks, and wire transfers, the defendants in turn wire transferred and carried to co-conspirators in Jamaica and elsewhere, informed the United States Attorney's Office. According to the indictment, approximately US $665,000 was stolen in the telemarketing scheme. The Jamaicans face a maximum penalty of 20 years in US jail, as well as a fine of US $250,000. The accused, however, face an enhanced penalty of up to 10 additional years for the first 12 counts of the indictment, as the indictment stated that they targeted victims over the age of 55, the statement noted. During Thursday's detention hearing, the U.S. Attorney's Office said information was presented to the court that the defendants are all originally from Jamaica and that at least 2 of the defendants are in the United States without legal status. The names of those persons were not disclosed by the U.S. Attorney's Office. The Jamaicans are currently detained pending trial. The case was investigated by Homeland Security Investigations, while Assistant United States Attorney Derek Shoemake is prosecuting the case. Massive Denham Town fire leaves at least 20 homeless. At least 10 families consisting of more than 20 people were left homeless after a fire at 13 to 14 Victoria Street in Denham Town, Kingston on Friday. There were no fatalities or injuries resulting from the blaze, the police said. The premises was a tenement yard where the families, which included adults and children, resided. More than 30 firefighters and 5 fire trucks fought the blaze but were unable to stop the homes from being totally destroyed. Police said the fire was seen coming from a section of the premises about 12:30 p.m. Residents tried to extinguish the fire, but this proved futile. The police and the fire department were contacted. 5 fire units from the York Park, Trench Town, Rollington Town, and the Halfway Tree fire stations were used to put out the blaze. An estimate of the damage has not been ascertained. Corporate areas homeless treated to Day of Wellness. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation teamed with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to stage the Desmond Mackenzie Wellness Day of Care for Homeless Persons at the St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston on Saturday. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond Mackenzie estimated that approximately 700 homeless individuals in the municipality were at the event. According to Mackenzie, he was happy that his name was associated with the event, as he has championed the plight of homeless people in the corporate area while getting assistance for them. I am pleased for this very inspiring event. What we are witnessing here today is a gathering of a section of the population that a few of us really remember. This Wellness Day was discussed with me some time ago, and I gave my blessings to it. I didn't know to the extent that it would be called the Desmond Mackenzie's Day, but it is something that I am more than glad in associating myself with because of my passion for the homeless population, Mackenzie said. Mackenzie said homeless persons were transported from other sections of the municipality to St. William Grant Park to be able to benefit from the services that were being offered. According to Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, the KSAMC wanted to stage the event during this period when the island is recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. We thought it would be good to do this now as part of the general program for homeless persons throughout the year, Williams said. There would have been various issues, difficulties throughout the pandemic period. We had to take initiatives and put in some programs throughout the early days of the pandemic. So we felt that coming out of the pandemic in a more relaxed situation, we could use the opportunity to raise awareness about the issue of homelessness, but also to offer various services to homeless persons at this critical point, he continued. Williams said that among the services that were available to the homeless on Saturday were birth certificates, vaccinations, HIV testing, dentistry, and COVID-19 testing. According to Williams, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force also offered guidance to the homeless about protecting themselves, as several of them were either severely injured or killed in recent attacks while they slept on the streets in the night. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.